Hello friends, Namaste. Firstly, my pranam to my Guru Brahmarishi Patriji, and then pranam to all the Atma Bandhus, all the soul friends here right now. I would like to pay my gratitude to my Guru Brahmarishi Patriji and Gyan Mitra friends who gave me this opportunity today to speak about speech, the power of our speech. Thank you so much, Vani ma'am. I would like to start with my introduction, friends. I am Rinku Gupta from Kolkata. I have been meditating since 2010 and connected with Pyramid Spiritual Societies movement since 2010. When I started my meditation journey, my spiritual journey in 2010, with the guidance of Brahmarishi Patriji, I was amazed with this simple tool, with this simple way of meditating, friends. Anapanasati meditation is a very simple way of meditating. You can sit anywhere, everywhere, wherever you want to sit and meditate. You can meditate anytime. There is no rule, no foundation of any time or anything else. You can use this meditation technique as an ATM card. It is very easy to do. You have to just observe your breath and nothing else. Since then, I am doing my Anapanasati practices every day regularly till now. And in Calcutta, after doing Anapanasati, we have started spreading this meditation technique in Calcutta and West Bengal, friends. So we have a team which is known as Kolkata PSD team. We have formed a team in Kolkata, Kolkata Pyramid Seva Dal, under the guidance of Madhvi Madam and Brahmarishi Patriji. Our team president is Poonam Podar from Calcutta. We are working on spreading Anapanasati meditation, pyramid meditation, and vegetarianism across the West Bengal, friends. From Anapanasati meditation practices, I have cured my sinus issues, I have cured my migraine, I have cured my sciatica pain. Only by doing Anapanasati meditation, my dear friends. Just with simple tool, with simple technique, we can get so much. And not only health issues, I have cured my other issues too. Like mentally, I am very healthy. Mental level also, I have lot of inferiority complexes within me for myself. Before starting my meditation journey, I didn't had any confidence to talk or to speak in front of people. I had a stage fear. And slowly and gradually, our Guru Brahmarishi Patriji helped me to come out of this fear of stage. Slowly and gradually, I overcame my fear of stage with the help of Anapanasati meditation practices and with the support of our Guru Brahmarishi Patriji. He has supported each and every pyramid master, in every way, he always used to call us on stage to share our experiences. Sharing experiences is one of the important principle of Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement. He always used to say that by sharing your experience, you motivate others, you inspire other people. And not only that, by sharing our experiences, our meditation experiences, our wisdom, our inner wisdom, we not only inspire other people, we inspire ourselves also, we motivate ourselves also. We gain confidence by sharing our experience with everyone. And by that way, I have overcome my fear of speaking on stage. By sharing my experiences with everyone, and whenever he used to call on stage to share my wisdom, my experience, meditation experiences, I used to vibrate, I used to shake, my entire body used to shake out of fear. But still, I used to try, I used to go and try to speak on stage in whatever way. But I used to try. Sometimes I used to hide myself, but still I took courage to speak on stage. So friends, today if I am speaking in front of you, all of you, and I am on live, all credit goes to our Guru Brahma Rishi Patriji. He helped me to come out of this fear. So friends, in Calcutta, each and every member of our group is unique and special. Our team is very unique and special. We are working together to spread Anapanasati meditation, vegetarianism and pyramid power. We are working as a one team, as a one collective consciousness. Not only that, we support each other, motivate each other, inspire each other. So this is a short introduction, friends. And I am not only Rinku Gupta here, individual Rinku Gupta. I am Kolkata PhD team, friends. I represent my Kolkata Pyramid Sevadar team here. So collectively we all are one. Each and every pyramid master is working so hard to spread Anapanasati meditation, vegetarianism and pyramid power across globe. The contribution of each and every pyramid master is very precious. It's a big responsibility to accomplish the vision of our Guru Brahma Rishi Patriji. And we are responsible. Each and every pyramid master is responsible to create heaven on earth by spreading Anapanasati meditation, pyramid power and vegetarianism across the globe. We are responsible to create world peace. First, by creating peace within ourselves. When we create peace within ourselves, we create peace outside. So first we have to be a peace before creating world peace. And this can happen only and only by doing meditation, by practicing meditation regularly, by teaching meditation, by spreading meditation. These are the four pillars of our Pyramid Spiritual Societies movement, my dear friends. Learn meditation, practice meditation, teach meditation, and spread meditation. Meditation is the only way to get peace, to achieve peace within you, to attain the state of peace and blissfulness within you first. And then only you can teach others to achieve that state of peace, to achieve that state of blissfulness within them. Each of us individually, we are responsible to create heaven on earth, to create world peace. So each and every person's contribution matters a lot, is very important, is very precious to create heaven on earth and world peace. So friends, now with the guidance of Brahma Rishi Patriji, now I am going to start our topic Vak Kshetra today. Vak Kshetra is a book, is a concept which is written by Brahma Rishi Patriji, and today I am, with my limited experiences, with my limited knowledge, whatever I gained from that book, whatever I perceived from that book, whatever insights, my limited insights I perceived from that book, now today I am going to talk about that. It's whatever he has written is a very vast subject, Vak Kshetra, and it's very important subject. Vak Kshetra is a very important subject, friends. Vak Kshetra means the area of our speech, our power of our speech. Patriji always focus on how we speak, how we talk, the way we talk, how much we talk. It is very important. He always focus on that. He always correct us. He correct our way of talking, how much we are talking, and the way we are talking. The speech has a very powerful effect outside. Not only outside us, it has a very powerful effect within us too, friends. It can bring a huge transformation within you and outside you. It has so much power. Whatever you speak, the way you speak, how much you speak, can create a heaven on earth, or heaven in anyone else's world, any other person's world, or it can even create a heaven in your own world. It can create heaven within you and outside your world. So friends, first I would like to start what is about word, the word we speak. Word has a magical power, a very powerful tool. This power of speaking is only given to the human beings. This is a very powerful tool and a powerful gift for a human beings on earth. Nobody else has this power. No animals, no plant kingdoms, bird kingdom or water animal kingdoms. Nobody has this power or gift, friends, which we have. We human beings have this beautiful gift and powerful gift given by nature. What is the reason behind it? Have you ever thought that we are so unique and special in the creation, that we have been given this beautiful and powerful gift of speech, of word? So with the use of our word, we can create anything in our life. With this simple use of our word, we can create magic in our life. Not only in our life, we can create magic in other people's life. We can create magic on the whole planet Earth with the use of our words, with the proper use of our words, with the scientific way of using our words. Patriji always tells that speaking is an art. Your word is an art. It is not only an art, it is the art and science of using words. It is the art and science of speaking. The art and science of the power of your speech. Before coming into meditation, I didn't even knew about this, that speaking is a gift. It has an art, and it is an art and science. Before coming into meditation, I used to speak whatever I used to think, whatever used to feel. I never thought that I can have a control on my speech. I can use it in a proper way. I can use it in a scientific way. I can create a sentence. I can use my words, my speech according to me. I used to speak subconsciously. We have a habit of speaking just whatever comes. But no, friends, that is not the scientific way of speaking. We must speak scientifically. We must use words scientifically. We must before speaking, we must think what we are speaking, how we are using our words, what words we are using, and in what manner, in what way we are using our words. Are we using our words to motivate others, to inspire others, or we are using our words, we are speaking to demotivate others, to make them feel more inferior? No, that is not the right way of speaking. That is not the right way of using your words, the power of your words, the power of your speech. In our Indian culture, we have a Vedas. We have so many Granth and Vedas, scriptures like Gita, etc., etc. In Gita, we have always read that the power of the words, the power of the speech of Krishna, while in Kurukshetra, while Arjuna and Krishna was in the Kurukshetra war, before the war started, Arjun was very, very demotivated after seeing the relatives, after seeing his family in front of him, that he is going to fight with his family members and all his family members are going to die. He can't do that. He was so sad about that. But what Krishna did, without using the weapon, he used Our word is the weapon, friends. Like Krishna used the word as a weapon. He used his word as a weapon. His words were weapon, and he, with his words, Krishna motivated Arjun to fight and to win the war. And also not only win the war or to fight, he also motivated Arjun at the soul level. He was so demotivated, he was so sad and in grief that what he is going to do, he is going to kill all his relatives and family members. He is going to fight with them. But Krishna motivated him with his words. Krishna's words were weapon for Arjun. Not only for Arjun, Krishna's words was a weapon for the whole entire humanity. When we read the words of Krishna, we also feel the energy of that words within us. We also get inspired and we also get motivated. So friends, we must use the words like Krishna. We must use the words like Jesus Christ, the truthful words. We must speak truth. Not only we must speak truth, we must speak truth gently, softly, and sweetly. We have seen that as a parent, we speak very harsh and bitter words for our children. We use very harsh and bitter words for our children. Parents say that we don't have that intention inside us, but to improve the children, but to improve the habit of the children, or to just that they should be on correct path, they use harsh and bitter words with their children. But that is not right way of treating your children like that. Using harsh and bitter words, by hurting your children with your words, they get demotivated with your harsh and bitter words. We must motivate them. We must inspire our children. We must use our words which can enhance their life. We cannot deteriorate our children's life, but without the intention, parents still, they are habituated to speak that word, that harsh and bitter words for their children. But no one is going to see your intention behind what you are speaking. Everyone outside of you are just listening to you, listening to your words, listening to the energy, the vibration of your words. So they are not going to see your intention. What is the intention behind the way you are speaking, the words you are using to talk? So friends, I'll give you a short example to understand this. Like there was a story that a small beautiful girl, a girl child, she was singing and playing, and she was just in her world. Suddenly her mother came in the home from the office, back to home from the office, and her mother was very tired. She was having a severe headache due to the work pressure in the office. So when she came back to home and heard the song of her daughter, that the song of the words of her daughter, the song of her daughter was hitting her head, because she was having a headache, a severe headache. So first she ignored that and she just came and relaxed. But continuously that her daughter was singing. So she shouted on her daughter due to that headache. She shouted that you are singing very badly. Your voice is not good. Your voice is so bad. What are you singing? Just stop it. So that word hit her daughter, and she was so hurt with her mother's words, that bitter and harsh words, that her voice is not good. She is not singing well. She is not good at singing. So what she took from that mother's words, that she is not good. She is not good at singing. Her voice is not good. So since that day, her daughter stopped singing, and she never sang in her life. So that kind of impact our words can have in other people's life, in our children's life, and not only other people's and in our children's life or anyone else's life, the words can have impact in our life too. Our words, our own words, can have a deep impact in our life too. Whatever we speak, whatever we say, our ears are there to hear that. Our ear hears that word, and that word enters our body and in our cell. And our cell and our mind gets programmed according to that word. And that creates our life. Our words can create our life, my dear friends. We can create a beautiful life with our words. We can create a hell with our words. A life full of hell, a life full of happiness, a life full of joy. Whatever words we use, we create our life. We create ourselves like that way. It's not about whatever we are speaking with our mouth, it's also about inner talk. We are talking to ourselves also. We are speaking to ourselves also within us. That inner self-talk is also there. Whatever we are saying to ourselves, whatever we are speaking to ourselves, whatever we say about us in our mind, we create our life for ourselves in that way. Whatever we think, we are that. We become that. Whatever we say, we become that. Our life becomes that. So friends, use words very scientifically. Speak in a scientific manner, in a proper manner. Learn to speak. Before coming into meditation, I never knew about this subject. But after meeting Brahmarishi Patriji, our Guru, and after observing him regularly, and after reading this book, his book Vakkshetra, I knew about this subject. I knew about that, okay, this is such a beautiful subject to learn to speak, to learn to use our words in a proper manner, in a scientific manner, in an artistic manner. We can do that. Our words have so much power that we can create anything. We can get anything. We can achieve anything with the use of our words, with the power of our speech. So friends, I started practicing it. Just like we practice meditation every day, we have to practice this also. It's all about practicing. The more we will practice to speak in a proper manner, to speak in a scientific manner, to speak in an artistic manner, that how to speak, what to speak, and how much to speak. That is more, these 3 points are very much important, my dear friends, that how to speak, what to speak, and how much to speak. Remember these 3 points. That what to speak. Are you speaking inspiring words? Are you using motivating words? Motivational words? What words you are using? And what impact will be there of that word? Because words have power. Words have magical power, a miraculous power. So whatever words you will use to speak, it will have an impact in your life and other people's life too. It can create a heaven for you, or either it can create a hell for you. So we have to check our words first, that which words we are using, what words we are using in our vocabulary, in our day-to-day life. We have to practice it every day in our home, with our children, with our husband, with our help, with our staff, everyone, each and every person you meet in your life. We must speak properly. We must use words which are really, which can create a heaven, which can create a happiness for everyone, which can inspire everyone, which can motivate everyone. And what words to use, what to speak, and in what way. What way we are speaking is also very important. If we are using proper word, motivational words, inspirational words, words which can create heaven in your life, if we are using that words, but in what manner we are using it, in what way we are speaking, what energy we are giving, what vibration we are using to speak that word. Sometimes we use words, proper words, but not in a scientific manner, not in an artistic manner. We just throw out words from our mouth like anything. Whatever is coming to us, we are just throwing it out. Are we using our words in anger? Using words with emotions. What emotions you are using to speak that word? To speak whatever you want to speak. Using improper emotions, like, are you using anger? Are you using emotions which are unwanted, which can impact other people's life, or which can also impact your life? Like I can give my example, my dear friends here. Like, before coming into meditation, not only before coming into meditation, after meditation also, when before reading this book, Vakkshetra book, I used to speak very harshly and in a bitter way to my children, my husband. I used to talk to them in a taunt. I used to use words in a taunting manner. Even if I used to word which are good, but in a taunting manner. So in what manner we are speaking, that also matters. I used to say them that my intention is not that I'm speaking in anger, but my intention is not that. But even if I'm speaking in anger with them, the emotion I'm using is anger. That also does that people outside you, that they doesn't see that what is your intention. They are seeing that what emotions you are using to speak, in what manner you are using your words, in what manner you are speaking to them. They will be affected by that. Even if our intention is pure. So we must speak scientifically, we must speak in an artistic manner, we must learn how to speak, in what manner to speak. So third point is how much to speak. Like, if I have been told here today to talk about this subject Vakkshetra, and I have been allotted a time 1 hour. So if I am speaking after 1 hour, after 1 hour I'll just keep on going and speaking, talking out of time. So that is also not a proper way. That is also not a good or proper way. That is also, I am going out of track. I have been given 1 hour to complete this session. So I should have to look at this matter, that how much I can speak, what point should I speak, and in what matter I should speak, so that I could complete the subject and I can present it in a proper way in front of you. So after 1 hour also, if I'll keep going on and I'll just keep talking and talking and talking, that is not a proper way also. So friends, we must learn how to speak, what words to use, in what manner we should speak, we must speak, and how much to speak. And not only that also, even if some people like Patri sir uses this use this phrase, that wherever angels fear to tread, fools jump in. So what does that mean? That means that we must speak whatever is been asked with us. We must speak where it is required. We must not speak unwantedly where it is not required. If you don't know how to speak, just remain silent. Don't talk, don't speak there. If you know how to speak, what to speak, and how much to speak, how much to say, you can open your mouth there. But if you don't know, first learn, first practice, and then you jump in. Then you speak about it. So this is such a beautiful subject, friends. We all must read this book written by Brahmarishi Patriji. We must all, after meditation, he always says that after meditation, practice of our regular meditation, there is one more thing to practice in our life, is that how to speak, the power of our speech. He always focuses on that. He always says that whatever you are doing, whatever you are thinking, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me at all. Think whatever you think, do whatever you do, whatever you would like to do. Do as you wish. Think as you wish. But speak properly. Speak in a scientific manner. Speak in an artistic manner. If you know how to speak, then only speak. Otherwise, remain silent. Keep silence. And it is not about speaking through our mouth. It is also about speaking through our thoughts. We also speak through our thoughts, my dear friends. We also speak through our thoughts with ourselves. That self-talk. And through meditation, it happens very easily. Through meditation, it happens naturally, automatically, slowly and gradually. Through meditation, our thoughts get reduced, the frequency of our thoughts get reduced, the vibration of our thoughts the quality of our thoughts get better, and we learn which thought we should focus upon and which thoughts are unwanted and which thought we should discard. So friends, by meditation, we learn a lot of things in our life. So these are the points about main points about the power of our speech, and we must practice. We must purify our speech. We must purify how to speak. We must work upon this. Patri sir always says, it doesn't matter if you don't work upon your thoughts. It doesn't matter if you don't work upon your actions, but you must work upon how to speak, what to speak, and when to speak, and how much to speak. We must practice this art. We must practice this science. We must master this in our life. How to speak, the power of our speech. So friends, human life consists of three things, three areas. Every human life consists of these three areas, which is emotion and thought area, second is action, and third is speech. Every human life has these three areas, and every human act upon based upon these three areas. Actions are based upon these three areas. Whatever we speak, if it doesn't have any emotions attached to it, there is no energy with it. Emotions are energy. Our words are energy. Our thoughts are energy. We all are energy beings, my dear friends. So whatever we speak through our mouth, we speak through our words, we speak through our emotions and actions. So it creates a huge impact. It brings a huge impact within us and outside us and in other people's life too. And we, each and every one, is responsible for that. Responsible for our own life and other people's life too. And we are also responsible for the entire planet. Our each and every people's thoughts, words and actions. We are responsible through these three phases of our life, through these three areas of our life. So we must work upon it. And the most important is about the speech area. We must work upon our speech area. We must practice every day to improve our speech area. We must practice it every day, just like we practice our Anapanasati meditation, my dear friends. So it's about a daily practice. It won't come in, you won't be able to do it in a one day. You won't be able to learn to speak in a scientific and artistic manner in a day. It will take a time. Slowly and gradually it will take a time. And you will be able to do it, like Buddha, like Krishna, like Jesus Christ. How they used to speak, what words they used to use. We must learn about them. We must read about them. We must learn the way they used to speak. They used to use the words. So we must all practice like Buddha did, like Jesus Christ did, like Krishna did, and not only them. Our living example is our Guru Brahma Rishi Patriji, my dear friends. He is our living example. We can learn by observing him. We can learn by observing him so much. We can learn so much from him. He is our living example. Whatever he says, whatever he speaks, he teaches us with each and every word. Not only with each and every word, he also teaches us with his own silence, with whatever he do. So by observing him, we can learn so much, my dear friends. Just listen to his videos, listen to his discourses, his talks. You will come to know. You will learn so much by listening to him. How he uses his words, in what manner he uses his words, and what energy, and so much energy. When he speaks, he puts so much energy in his words. He puts so much emotions, that emotion he puts in his words. And due to his words, that he decided that he will create a vegetarian world till 2020, 2030. He will create heaven on earth. He is creating that. So much power our words carry, so much power it has. So we can create anything for, not only for us, we can create for anyone with our words, my dear friends. So this the next is the purification of our words, Vak Shuddhi. Vak Shuddhi is how working, practicing how to speak, learning. First, learn the art. What is the art behind speaking? What is the science behind speaking? First, we have to learn that. The way we learned meditation, how to do meditation, when to do meditation, how to sit, what to do during meditation. Similarly, we must learn how to speak. We must learn this. We must read books on how to improve our speech, how we can improvise, how we can learn to speak. And after reading books, after learning, we can practice it every day in our life. So friends, when I realized that before meditation, how I was speaking with my children, how I was speaking with my husband, not only with my husband and children, how I was speaking with myself, how I am talking to myself, my inner self-talk. I worked upon that also. What I am thinking about myself, to myself. And when I will improve that, when I will work upon that, first I have to work within me. When I will work within me about myself, when I will improve my speech about myself, my self-talk about myself, the words which I use for myself, do I use that I don't deserve anything? I'm not good enough. What is your self-talk? You have to check that within yourself. Check that within yourself and work upon it. Practice. With practice, you will be able to do it. Everyone has that potential, that capacities, that capabilities to transform anything. So first work upon your own self, and then work what you talk, how you talk to others, how you speak to others. Like first start from your house, with your husband, with your wife, with your children, with your staff. How we talk to our staff. Are we using kind words, gentle words while talking to them, or we are using anger, energy of anger, harsh and bitter words while talking to them? So friends, check that. Introspect. Go within yourself and practice it. Change it. Transform it. Practice it every day, daily, regularly. So thank you so much, friends. And one more example I would like to share here is about Hiranyakashipu and Bhakta Prahlad. We all have read about him. We all have heard about him, the story about Hiranyakashipu and his son Prahlad. So Hiranyakashipu, the father of Prahlad, Bhakta Prahlad, he always used to say that I am God. I am the only God. And he used to tell his son that chant my name. Don't utter the name of Narayana. His son was the Bhakt of Narayan, Vishnu. And he used to chant that word Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. But his father used to say that stop that and chant my name. I am the only one. I am the only God. No one else is there. No other God is there. But he never accepted the words of his father. He never accepted that there is no other God. He always used to say to his father, Narayana is the only God. Narayan is the God. And he used to chant that word. His father also tried to kill him in various ways. But he never used to bother about that his father is going to kill him due to chanting the word Narayana. He never listened to his father. So friends, that is not the truth. That's why he never listened. Why Prahlad didn't listen to his father? Because that was not truth. He knew that. He knew the truth because Prahlad he was meditating since childhood. At a very young age, since childhood, he started meditating. He came to know the truth. He knew the truth since his childhood. So after knowing the truth, how he can accept the things which are untruth. So he never accepted the untruth words of his father. He always used to say the truth is Narayana. I know the truth is Narayana. So friends, by this example, we must know what is truth and we must know what is untruth. And how we will know this? How we will learn this? What is truth and what is untruth for us? We must do meditation. We must practice meditation every day. Through meditation, through the tool of meditation, Anapanasati meditation, you will know the truth within you. You will know the truth. You will get all your answers within you. You don't have to rely upon the answers from the outside sources. All the answers are within you. The truth is within you. You are the truth. You will come to know the truth. And after knowing the truth, you will not accept what is untruth. Whatever may come, you will not accept it. So friends, we must become like Prahlad. We must become like him. We must practice to become like him. We must speak truth. Before speaking truth, we must know truth, what is truth and what is untruth. And how we will know truth and untruth? Only by practicing meditation in our everyday life. We will know about the truth and what is untruth. So we have to practice meditation for everything. Meditation is the only solution for every problem. Meditation is the only answer for every question. So for that, you have to practice meditation every day, regularly in your life. Whenever you get time, whatever time is comfortable for you, just close your eyes, sit and meditate. Just observe your breathing. A very simple technique. You don't have to do any chanting. You don't have to do any pranayama. Nothing. Simply close your eyes, sit and just observe your breathing, my dear friends. So friends, as we bounded by our time, so we will sit for meditation for 10 minutes. Thank you so much, friends. So let us meditate. So cross your legs. You can take back rest. We are going to do Anapanasati meditation, the most simplest and powerful technique of meditation given by Lord Buddha, and now our Guru Brahmarishi Patriji has given this beautiful, the most powerful technique to us, the precious gift. Through meditation, we can know everything. We can know all the truth which we don't know yet. So friends, cross your legs, clasp your hands like this and keep it on your lap. If you are wearing specs or lenses, you can remove that. Take back rest, sit comfortably. No tension in your body. Just sit comfortably, relax your body. Close your eyes, my dear friends. And just observe your breath. Your simple, natural breath, my dear friends. Bring your mind onto your breath. Your natural, normal breath, my dear friends. Easy breath, soft breath. Just observe the outgoing and incoming of your breath, the inhalation and exhalation. Just simply observe. Don't do any chanting, no mantra chanting, no japas, no name chanting, neither any kind of pranayama or any kind of forceful breathing, my dear friends. Just be with your normal, natural, soft breathing, peaceful breath. Just simply observe your breath, my dear friends. Don't open your eyes. Just be with your breath, my dear friends. Just be with your breath. Only 5 minutes more, my dear friends. Just be with your breath. When we are with our breath, a simple, natural, normal breath, our mind gets empty. And in this empty state of our mind, we receive huge amount of cosmic energy, my dear friends, within ourselves. Receiving cosmic energy totally depends on the emptiness of our mind. The more we will practice to be with our breath, the more we will receive this cosmic energy, my dear friends. Whenever your mind wanders towards thoughts, just bring it back again and again to your breath. Practice to bring it back to your breath, your normal, natural, peaceful breath. It's a matter of practice, my dear friends. Practice it every day regularly to be with your normal, natural, peaceful breath. Don't analyze your breath. Don't judge your breath. Just be with your breath. Be with your breath the way your breath is. Whatever the way your breath is, be it longer, be it shallow, be it faster, be it slow, whatever the your breath is flowing, just be with that without any judgment, without any analyzation of your breath. No thoughts whatsoever, my dear friends. Just practice to bring your mind on your breath, on your normal, natural, soft, tranquil breath, my dear friends. Only you and your breath. Your breath is your guru, my dear friends. Your breath is your greatest guru. All your answers are within you. And by observing breath, by being with your breath, you will come to know all the truth and the answers within you. Only 3 minutes more, my dear friends. Just be with your breath. Your breath is your life force. Just be with your normal, natural, peaceful breath. If you want to hold on to anything, just hold your breath and let go of all the other things in your life. This is the time only for you. Especially for you, this is the time to be with your breath, to be with yourself. Being with breath means being with own self. Being with breath means loving own self. So when you are observing your breath, when you are being with your breath, you are loving yourself, my dear friends. You don't have to do anything. Just observe your breath, your normal, natural, soft, tranquil breath. Doing nothing is meditation. Stop all your mental activities like thoughts, all your physical activities, and sit doing nothing, just observing your breath. Don't open your eyes, my dear friends. Through eyes, 80% of our energy gets consumed. 80% of our energy get wasted through our eyes. So while meditating, never open your eyes. Sit with your eyes closed. Only 1 minute more, my dear friends. Just for 1 minute, be with your breath. Thirty seconds. 20 seconds, 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Don't open your eyes, my dear friends, until I say 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Slowly come back into your body. Feel the presence of your body, my dear friends. You can open your hand, place your palms on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Slowly and gradually remove your hand and open your eyes. Gently open your eyes, my dear friends. No hurry. Slowly and gradually you can come back. And a big clap for your meditation, my dear friends. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. A special thanks to my Guru Brahma Rishi Patri Ji. A special thanks to our Pyramid Grandmaster Asha Gupta from Delhi, who translated this book from Telugu into Hindi and gave us the opportunity to read this book in Hindi. Thank you so much. I would like to thank Gyana Mitra team, Vani Madam, for giving me this opportunity today. Thank you so much. Thank you each and everyone who are viewing this session. Thank you, masters. Thanks to all the Pyramid Masters. Thanks to all my soul friends who are watching this. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And with this, I would like to end this session today, my dear friends. Thank you.